Carrowmore and the Drowned Lands. Much of the company has been wading through knee-high, sometimes waist-high water, floating around on makeshift rafts in the flood zone, and even getting up to drier ground where parts of Carrowmore still stand, and where the scene is utterly apocalyptic. Homes ripped from their moorings, smashed up against each other like frightened lovers. Kids screaming, trying to find their parents. A lot of people just look really dejected. They're just sitting on the soggy banks, waiting for the waters to wash over them and take them away. You see a few things. Off to the distance, off to the side, maybe 30 or 40 yards away, you see a scholar of some sort with a spyglass, focused very intently on something. And there is a child reaching their hand into their bag while they're distracted. You see a desperate throng of people about to hang a sailor for some crime. Somewhere else, you see a woman facing down what appear to be a group of well-armed mercenaries. On a church roof, a man in a stained nightgown stares upriver. What do you do?
I think I'm interested in the sailor being hanged.
Yeah, you can go look into that. What about you, Hargast?
I think Horrorgast is making his way up to the top of the church to find out what the man is looking at.
Fantastic. We'll start with church. You have the general sequel here, Horrorgast, of interacting with the people of Carrowmore, and you're doing that. Do you have any questions as you approach the church?
I think I just, like so much has changed in the landscape and he clearly sees something or is thinking about something that everyone else has overlooked in their sort of dejected sitting or squabbling or whatever. And Horrorgast wants to get up high as well and find out the lay of the land.
Mm-hmm. You can scramble up there. Go ahead and make a hunt roll.
Yeah, I think construction or paths would be my case for the die because it's sort of partially damaged. So trying to find a way up when
Safe
maybe
way up, yeah.
the stairs have collapsed or whatever. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think I've lost the dice roller from earlier.
Oh,
It's right up the top of the call, isn't it?
let me find it again. Actually, I
Yeah.
closed it myself.
Oh, okay.
I know it's in Discord. Give me one moment. Let's see here. I thought it was in Discord.
I can't remember what channel it's in.
This is thrilling video, I fear. Oh, here we go. All right. I've linked it there in the chat.
Great, thanks. Okay. Yes, so now to thrill and amaze people, I'll actually roll the hunt roll. Okay, 2 die. I got a 5.
Take your token. The man on the roof of the church wearing this nightgown, he's pointing at the dam. There's a pillar of steam rising in the distance where the river disappears. And you can see the dam in the distance. At this distance, it's small to you, but you can see it. He's pointing, and his eyes are wide. The dam! The lock! The dam! It must be shut again! What do you do?
I think I'll go up to him and say, "Now there, friend. I know this has all been a very trying day, but try and use complete sentences. What is that? What do you see? Use your words."
Uh, 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 we, who are you?
You could say that I'm interested in the secrets of deep earth. So when a dam bursts, I too am very alarmed and disturbed by it. But specifically, why? What is the lock?
Listen to me. You must listen to me. I am Tamruzi. I am the bishop of the Church of the Optical God. I'm sure you've never heard of it. It's sort of a local faith, and I know you're not from around here. Listen carefully. I don't know much about the origins of our church. It is a faith, I fear, that is steeped in great mystery. But I do know this. I have a theory. We worship the sun. We believe that the sun is like an eye, the eye of God, and that the heat of the sun, when focused through a lens, is like having God touch you, filling you with his power. And here he goes under his nightshirt and shows you his holy symbol. It's a glass lens with like an eye kind of in the center of it. But I believe that there's something else. I believe that our faith is just a leftover passed down from centuries from something much, much older, a much older faith, you see. We have an old church. This is the new church. There is an old church upriver. And there is a great treasure inside the old church. Something that we believe is connected to the true origin of our faith. And I believe that that is itself connected to the dam somehow. Perhaps you could go.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned, it's not to discount ancient folklore, because in every story there's a grain of truth. But yes, I believe that I can attract my colleagues to help with the promise of great treasure. I too like great treasure, but I am also very interested in secrets.
Yes, yes. I fear I do not have the key to the old church. One of my colleagues is around here somewhere in Carrowmore, I believe. If you can find him, he has the key. He can help you get inside. I think inside the old church are the answers that we all may seek. I believe very strongly that there is something terrible that has been unleashed. Perhaps it is that terrible thing that broke the dam. I don't know for sure. Let me cut back over to Vendra. Vendra, you could walk up to this crowd of people. There is this sailor who has been accused of some crime. What do you do as you approach?
I think I talk to someone in the audience and ask what crimes did he commit? Why is it necessary to hang him now?
What crimes did he commit? I I saw him myself. I saw him stealing from a larder that was dislodged by the flood. And someone else says, No, 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 that wasn't it. It was the cats. He was taking the cats as they were trying to reach high ground. Who knows what he was doing with them? Something terrible. You know what sailors are like. And then another one's like, No, 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 that's not what he did. And they all go on. They can't agree with what this man's crime was. But they know he did it. And they currently have a noose around his neck. What do you do?
I'm gonna speak up and I'm gonna say, listen, people, obviously, if he committed a crime that's punishable by death, then you can go ahead. But obviously, you don't seem to know what he actually did. So maybe step back for a sec.
This is a risk roll to try to convince this crowd of this worked up crowd to back off.
Hmm.
Take me through it.
Okay, let's see. So basically, I hope that they will not kill him. And I wonder what could possibly go wrong.
I think you get wrapped up in their imaginary accusations and their imaginary crimes, and you also end up seized by this crowd.
I think somebody starts like it basically it's not just that you get caught up with it, it starts to spread and more people, it becomes like a
Oh,
panic.
sure. Okay. Um, Take one light die if the task is something you are skilled at because of your occupation background or training, or because you are taking advantage of a piece of equipment or the environment. Um, the way I argued with them is basically based on my skill in revenge. That it's
Oh, interesting.
fair. It's fair to actually hang him, but only if there's cause, you know.
Hmm. Okay, you got one line die.
And is there a devil's bargain you'd like to propose?
I think no matter what, this sailor actually did commit a really horrible crime.
I think no matter what, they'll only be satisfied by some kind of other punishment that is really time consuming. And because you're the one, like, and you're going to be somehow expected to be the arbiter of it for good or ill.
So no matter what, some sort of punishment, even a minor one, will happen.
I like you as Jason, that he actually did something terrible.
Fantastic. You've got too late. I don't think you need to do a dark die yet.
Okay, let's see how that goes. Risk. That's a 4.
The complication is, um, I think the complication is after you rescue him, he puts the evidence of his actual crime, he like puts it on you somehow, or he like slips it in your pocket, or otherwise like palms it off on you.
Oh boy.
You can add a dark die to try for a 6 to avoid that if you'd like.
Yeah, why not? Let's see how it goes. Um, that's a 5, dark. So my rune goes up and same
Your rune goes up,
outcome
same
as.
result, and you have to stop here as well.
Hmm.
Welcome. Think about what your speech looks like when you convince them, and I'm going to come back to it in a minute. Horror guest, this man, this bishop, Tamruzi. I'll type that for you. You're sitting up on the roof with him, maybe even watching this scene play out with the sailor from your high perch. And Tamruzi tells you the story of his faith, or the story he believes underpins his faith. He speaks of a great kingdom in the past, seduced and betrayed, a primal war in which darkness threatened reality. A holy army was called to defeat this darkness. Most died beneath the earth. A prison of light and a cage of water held back the dark. The empire fell, but some escaped into the wilderness and survived to pass on their secrets. He believes that this is what eventually became his church. The dam protected something terrible, and it must not be released. I will clip all of those for you so you can share it with the group. Let's keep the scene going. He says, so do you think you and your company could help the church to close up whatever is there, to maybe even discover if my theory is correct?
I'm sympathetic because the order of geomancers also spring from an ancient folly. We too, our magic arises from the ancient Kaldori wizards. Perhaps this is another one of their doings. And I feel responsible for keeping things beneath the earth that should stay beneath the earth. I think my colleagues will be convinced by treasure. So let's lead with the treasure. But I personally am very invested in not causing a subterranean apocalypse.
Indeed. Vendra, give us your speech.
So I think um, the crowd is paying attention, and she, I suppose, where he is situated is a bit above. Maybe there's like a makeshift table or anything lightly elevated, and she gets up there as well. So she's standing next to him. And so she can look at the crowd and says, listen, you have to have evidence. You have to know what he did. And when you do, you can't just accuse them, but you have to have evidence. And if you do, I mean, then you can obviously execute him, but I don't think you do. Or can anyone prove me wrong?
And they all just sort of look at each other and nod and shrug. And they say, well, it has been a very long day. And
And I understand, but let's focus on helping each other and not killing.
yes, all right. And they all kind of hubbub, and They lower him down to the ground. He's gasping. I think they were hanging him while you were giving your speech. He's gasping. Terrible bruising already around his neck. He says, "Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Max Kosciuszko. The things I was being accused of were completely ridiculous. I mean, as if I would eat someone. Can you even imagine? I'm not that desperate. I mean, I understand these are really dire circumstances.
I didn't say I think you're innocent. I just said they don't have proof.
Right, they don't have proof I ate someone. I prefer. I have more of a sweet tooth. I like pastries. Yes, pastries. That's what I love.
What about fruit?
Yeah, fruit. Yes. Love a thick, succulent piece of fruit.
And I reach into my pocket and hand him an apple.
Oh, lovely. So good. Thank you. Well, you, my captain, Snail Shell Zarathustra. Do you know him? The captain of the Latipan. We blew off course when the dam broke. Our ship is just over there. You must come and present yourself to him. He will be delighted that you saved me from that crowd. Trust me, delighted.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Do you mind if I bring some friends?
Yes, of course. I've seen you and yours all around. Please, come. The more the merrier. I love this apple. It is delicious. Crunch, crunch. And what you fail to notice is that he has slipped a severed hand, into your pocket, into your bags. Put it as a condition, has a severed hand. You have a severed hand unbeknownst to you on your person. Tamruzi says, Excellent. You and yours, you will have the full support and appropriate remuneration. Full support of and appropriate remuneration from the Church of the Optical God. I, as the local bishop, indeed the only bishop, I swear it.
I'm quite interested in gaining the protection of the Optical God in my quest. Might I have one of your wonderful refractive lenses to burn evil away with?
Yes, of course. Take mine. And he takes off his holy symbol, which is a large lens. That is, it looks kind of like a sun with an eye in it, and you hold it up, and when you hold it up, the heat focuses. It looks like it's coming out of the eye, right?
This will be wonderful. I'm very fascinated in lenses and crystals, you see. It's something of a hobby of mine. I imagine this will come in great in much use when I go to your old church. Now, tell me, where do I find this other follower of yours?
And you will actually see the follower, this other priest, Selminimum Tem. He is actually chatting with some of your fellow company members down on the soggy shore. He is already sort of attached to the company. He gives you his holy symbol and he says, "Now you're not going to sell it, are you?"
No, I intend to burn things with it.
Excellent. Well, we don't say burn in the Church of the Optical God. We say bless.
The fiery gaze of your God. Yes, I see. Gaze.
Superb. It is worth 1 gold if you have to sell it at some point.
I'm not selling the burn lens. No.
But you can certainly add it to your found equipment. And that concludes our time here. I will see you both back at camp.